Okay, so I did this experiment with some flowers and we're gonna check out how it came out. Ooh. Okay, well, it's already so excited to get out of here. For some context though, I press flowers as much as I can. Hey, I'm Niba, and these is my experiment on pressing some flowers. For more planty stories, you can check out my socials. I'm at NotesByNiba. Today I did this look kind of inspired by a yarrow plant, and that video is up on my socials too. Life is hard enough as it is, so why not like romanticize and whimsify a little piece of it where you can? And what better way to do that than like pressing flowers? I also pressed some leaves because leaves are a nice little addition when you're pressing flowers, and you can use them both in so many things. I love being able to give a second life to flowers that I've been gifted. Imagine just like making cards with all of these flowers all over them. It's such a classy signature move, and you can even turn them into a framed picture or make bookmarks or make photo frames. Truly, the crafts are endless. Like, this is a journal I recently got and I wanted to spruce up because, you know, the more pretty a journal is, the more likely you're gonna like actually use it. Like, I'll just be out, see some cute little flowers on the ground, kabam, I have my journal or a book that I'm reading, and you can just flip to some random page and just stick it in there, and then eventually when I get to that page, it's just a fun little flower thing. And that mental health walk is supposed to be our moment to photosynthesize and connect with nature, and not like accidentally end up staring at the same tiny screen we were staring at when we were inside. So it's easier if you give yourself something to do, like finding flowers on the ground or finding some leaves with a really cool shape. And so depending on the flower, you can get like medicinal uses if you're using like chamomile to make a sleepy tea. You can also get like colors out of like a pink hibiscus flower. It's used for a lot of like mixology and turning things like a very vibrant color.
You can also use them in like kind of a more sciencey way where you use it to like learn about plants in your area and make like a little collection of like the plants growing in your garden. I'll also add that with proper care, the pressed plants can last for literally hundreds of years. Like, there are herbariums out there that have plants dating back from like the late 1600s. It's been like, what, 400 plus years at this point?
So there are a couple of ways to press flowers, but in this video, I wanted to focus on the easiest one because, you know, minimal energy for maximal output. But just so you know the other ones, it is really popular to also microwave them, which has the advantage of time. But for that, you have to have like a microwave flower press, which I didn't really want to buy that. Also, you risk the edges of the leaves and the flowers getting too like burnt and too crispy. You have to make sure you're doing like tiny little bursts of microwaving them and like making sure you're checking on them. And I don't want to spend that kind of like detailed attention energy thing. Sort of like fermentation, where you like throw stuff together and you forget about it for a little while and then suddenly bam, you have the thing that you wanted all along. And then another popular method is the ironing method, where you put all of the botanicals in between two sheets of parchment paper and iron out all of the moisture that's in them, which I like that method. It's certainly faster, you get the moisture out, it becomes very flat, which is really nice, but I don't have an iron, and also there's like the effort of plugging it in and pushing, and I don't know, for some reason in my head, that just seems like more effort. Like, I kind of want to just throw them in a book because really all you need is just like the time it takes for it to be pressed down, the pressure of the book, and then like a book or journal. Like, that's, I don't know, for some reason in my head, that just seems a little bit easier. But then one thing that really helps press flowers though, and I forgot to do this at the end, is when you use hairspray at the very end to help like lock in the pigment and make it a little bit less fragile, and just sort of like, just like it gives your hair a hold, it'll give the flowers like a bit of a hold. I love when beauty products have like multiple uses, whether that's like makeup or skincare, or in this case, hairspray. So a few weeks ago, I made this like day in my life video where I kind of tried out all these different ways of pressing flowers. And so that's what we're gonna try out together, because apparently you can avoid this whole like color problem if you just have parchment paper. But also that makes me wonder, like, if the parchment paper is waxy, does that come onto the flower? Like, anyway, let's just open it and find out. Actually, before we see the results, we should first see how I set up the experiment in the first place. So I'm using some pretty cool flowers here for this experiment. Notice how those outer petals are green? It's because those are actually sepals, not petals, although I did accidentally call them leaves in the previous video. But this is the ivory print variety of a plant called hellebore, and only that very center is actually the flower. And in general, when you're pressing flowers, you always want to make sure that the botanicals don't stack on top of each other, because not only will it be harder for the moisture to be drawn out, but it'll also transfer some of the pigment from one thing to another. In general, you also want to press things before they get completely dried up and brown, unless course you want that like brown dusky aesthetic, but you do risk preserving mold and it might be a little bit more brittle. So for the first method, I wanted to individually carefully wrap them in parchment paper, which seems like it would for sure protect the pages of the book. So I put a few flowers in there, making sure to try to get different colors. And then I realized these flowers are pretty thick and I had to get them to lay even flatter. So I snipped off the stem and then pressed them tight with my hands. I also did some leaves in this format. To be honest, individually wrapping them like this was a lot more effort than the easy peasy cozy craft vibes I was trying to curate, and also the parchment paper wanted to curl inward, so it was kind of a struggle. So I decided for the second method I was going to do the least amount of effort, and I set up my control, which was just putting the flowers and leaves directly into the pages of the book. I'm hoping this doesn't stain this book since all the pages are handmade. It will almost certainly stain the pages. And then for the last method, I made a mini little leaflet of the parchment paper and put the leaves and flowers into it. I was determined to fit everything on one page, but it was kind of a pain to keep everything arranged into one layer. But similar to doing like one trip into the house to carry groceries, I powered through. I have high hopes for this because it was relatively easy, but also protects the book pages. I love how the layers show the different methods. All these methods are certainly similar, but I bet that even these small differences will make a huge change. So now all that's left is to close up the book, leave it under a pile of books for more pressure, and then forget about it for 3 to 5 weeks. Anyways, that's enough rambling. Let's find out how this came out. No. Okay, well, the back of this flower has gone moldy, so we'll probably not use that. This one is so pretty, but I have the same problem again where like the center has gone all moldy. There was definitely some liquids in the center because, you know, they were pretty 3D, and so I'm sure the water kind of caused all the mold. I wonder if I can just cut around the mold. We'll see how the others turned out. There we go. This one is much better. So cute. Oh, it feels so much flatter than the ones I normally press. I like that. It means it'll be easier to put on things. That came out so good. That is so pigmented. Are you kidding me? Another leaf that came out quite good. You want to try and have the flowers be as dry as possible going in there to prevent the mold. So it's hard to say whether it was like the method of wrapping it in parchment paper or if the flowers themselves were like, they were pretty chunky. So maybe that's why it's hard to tell. So we're gonna dump these into the trash. So those ones were individually wrapped in the paper, but these ones, I just kind of put them all in one sheet of paper. So we'll see how this turns out. Ooh, very good. You can even see the details of like the little anthers on this guy. They came out quite good. Oh, even this one has like the little anthers and stuff. And then we have our very last one, which was pressed just directly in. These ones definitely left a big residue all over the page. And, oh, but the texture of them is not nearly as flat as the ones that were pressed with the like parchment paper. Okay, I love that it literally required like absolutely no effort, and I suspect that like if you have more pigment in flowers or more liquid in them, it's going to leave even more marks on your books, which like if you're like using a library book or a book that's not yours or a book you want to keep clean, then this just wouldn't really work really well for that. They're not nearly as like flat and smooth the way these guys were. This one was a lot of effort to like press them all individually. I think that was like maybe a little too much effort, but this definitely is like the happy medium where it's like really flat and smooth and it doesn't leave any marks. I think this guy right here is our winner. It takes the least amount of time and it's so perfectly thin. Like, look at that. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just keep some parchment paper like glued in my journal and then just flip to that page whenever I find flowers that I want to press. This is the full haul. As you can tell, very cute, very cozy, very aesthetic vibes. So with your new flowers, I suggest making some art or gluing them into your habit tracker or your journal, because the more love and care you put into that thing, the more you'll use it and the closer you'll be to your goals. If you'd like to support me in sharing more about plants, you can check out my Ko-Fi. And if you'd like to support in a non-monetary way, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to this video. So those are all my notes on this pressed flower experiment. If you have any planty stories you want me to dive into next or specific videos you'd like to request, leave a comment below and I'll see you on the next page. Oh my God, what is my cat doing? What is this position? These into the trash, but not dump the cat into the trash.